Today I'm going to show you how to make one of my favorite cards. It's called a flip-flop card, or that's what I call it. I don't know what it's really called. Anyways, to start with, you've got a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of cardstock, and I'm going to score it at 2 1/8, and then I'm going to score it again at 2 1/8 from the other direction, and then our standard 4 1/4 in the middle. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take your cardstock and just fold it in half. And then I measure 1 3/4 inches down, and I take my cutting blade and I cut from the inside seam until I hit that score line. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, 1 3/4 inches, starting at the seam until you reach the score line. And it creates this funny looking middle panel. It's correct, don't worry, and that's going to be our card. For this card, I'm using the stamp set Just Beachy. It's in the mini catalog. And it looks like a cupboard fold here, the way the card's going to open. So I've got my 2 seams here meeting. And I'm going to have a belly band that goes around the outside of the card. So I've just stamped my fish from the Just Beachy set. And I'm just going to make a belly band for the card. So I'll apply some adhesive to the back side here. And I'll just wrap that around my card. Okay, so I've just got my band. And I want it to be about there. I'll fold this around and wrap this around. And again, just the adhesive is on the end right here. So this will be able to slide on and off my card. And now what I've got is I've just stamped one of the fish and I've layered it on a bunch of different circles. So I'm going to put that on my card front. It's a very simple card. This is, Emma's got a Hawaiian themed birthday party next week, so we thought we'd make a fish card. Well, she's making one alongside it as I'm doing the same thing. Okay, so my fish is going to go on here. And the last step for the front of my card is I'm actually going to use the new mini little grommets that are also from the mini catalog. And I'm just going to take my mat pack, and I know that my belly band is going to rest about here. And I want to get some air bubbles. And this idea was from my downline, Martha, who's so talented. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a white eyelet and I'm just going to push it through my card. And you can see that the backs just poke up over here. And I will put those down, but I just want to show you what it's going to look like. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to put another one here and another one here. And to squish my backs, all you're going to do is just take a blunt object. You can use the hammer from the little tool kit, or you can use the end of your paper piercer, and you're just going to fold those ends down. So I'm going to find something that I can use, and I'll be right back. Okay, so you can see here I've got my bubbles done, and the backs are poked down. Now to make the rest of the card, what you're going to do is you're going to make 2-inch strips of paper that are 5.5 inches long, and you're going to weave them. So my first part of my card, I have the blue showing here and here. So my next one, I'm going to want my ends tucked under. And what I'm going to do on these woven edges is just adhere some fish that I've stamped, and colored in, and I'm going to put those on, and I'll be right back to show you the next step. Okay, so you can see here I've got my fish glued on. I did a little air bubble here, and now the way the magic of this card works is when I close my card and then reopen it on the seam, I get the back sides of those blue pieces. So now I'm going to embellish these 3 squares again just with some fish, and I'll show you how the whole thing works in just a second.